Good morning and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is a bit delayed. I had some computer problems yesterday, and it took me a little bit to get around to actually doing my ninth episode of Your Table, Your Dice, and Your Fun. So this is going to be covering my week in gaming from October 23rd through October 29th. So this was the previous, basically Monday through Friday. I typically have my Tuesday night AD&D First Edition campaign game going on Tuesdays, which we did have last week. But we did not have it yesterday because it was Halloween, and we were spending time with the family. Plus, I was having computer issues yesterday as well. So there's that. I believe we will be running last night's game session on Friday. So we will get caught up and be back on track going forward. Continuing on that, my computer is acting up. There's a problem with the pump fan, and they're supposed to send me a box to send my computer in for repair. Fortunately, it's under warranty, but depending on where they have me sending this to, because I'm not going to send it out of the country, because I don't want it to get bogged down in shipping or anything like that, I may just decide to switch out the fans completely, basically upgrade them on my own, and then go forward from that standpoint. So, not quite sure how this is going to play out. Hopefully, it's someplace in the United States, and I'm seeing how long it'll take them to get the box sent to me. So it was put in, the order was yesterday. If the box shows up to me within 2 or 3 days, and it is a United States location, then I will send my computer out, and I will be functioning on live stream through my iPad during the interim. So during the time that my computer is not here, I'll be live streaming with the iPad. So I won't have quite as many bells and whistles, even though I don't do very many anyway. But but there's that. So without further ado, let me jump into my AD&D First Edition campaign and start giving you the recap of that. So here we go, and okay. I'm actually going to come off of this screen real fast. Actually, let me just jump right in here, and I will show you the introduction here. So this is my AD&D First Edition Greyhawk campaign. We have been running this for over 2 years now, probably closer to 2 years and 2 months or so. We just completed session 105, and now I will switch over to that here. Let's make sure that you're actually looking at the same thing. Yes, you are. So now I'm going to switch, and let me double check and see. Yes. So this is how I use Roll20. I create these icons myself. I look for the various creatures, and this is basically the battle map, right? And I will draw out what the room kind of is, and then I will move these icons over as needed. And you can see I run this for quite some time, so I just keep on dumping the unused ones over here. And these are all statted out. Like you can see when I click on some of these, they're statted out. If I click on ones that aren't X'd out, in other words, they hadn't been killed, they may actually have their full stat. So 8 hit points, 3 armor class. I usually have in the hit die. For some reason, this one doesn't, but it's not. This one, for whatever reason, has an armor class of 4. So Again, this is AD&D, so it's descending armor class, just in case you're wondering. So this was the particular battle. They had fought all of these creatures that you see here. I just enlarged them here so you can see the actual image. All right, so these are creatures known as Sathar. All right, I don't know where, it's just a Tsather, and then this is a Scourge Master, so same type of creature. This guy had 72 hit points, an AC of 3, and 12 hit die. So quite a challenge. The party group is roughly levels 8 through 10. She's still 10th level. So she's 10th level. He is 8th level, both fighter and magic user. This is the paladin, 8th level. This is the magic user, 7th level. No, I'm sorry. He's an illusionist, 7th level, currently invisible. Here's a cleric, 8th level. Druid is 10th. This is another cleric. Second cleric is 8th level. This is the bard. He is basically fighting as a 7th level. Here's the magic user. He is 9th level. And here's a thief. He's 9th level. So he's been traveling with the party, and then he broke away. He's being used as an NPC because part of the campaign requires that all of the original characters are still present for these last couple of sessions that we're going to be running, and then we will transition into a whole new campaign. So this is the battle board that everybody kind of sees. I pop these things out. I take them off the, off the shadowed area and bring them over to here when it's time to make them visible. Now I'm going to switch views here. So this is, and I'll double check to make sure you're looking at it. So this is the player view of the map. And to be honest with you, I kind of forget which official AD&D map this was. I salvage maps from old school AD&D and old school Dungeons and Dragons adventures, adventure modules, and then all I do is as the players are making their way through, I reveal what they're actually seeing. It's been working out really well. Makes it where I don't have to fuss around with dynamic lighting, which I do have available, but it's never really worked, and I would have to generate all the walls for this to have dynamic lighting, and that's just insanely difficult. It's much better to just reveal hidden areas as they're coming across them. So you can see they left off in room 13, and going back over, oh, wrong one. I can close that. Going back over here, you can see that is room 13. So this is where they left off in this battle. It was a pretty good battle. I will get my my sheet here to go over it. So this was 105, and it really launched with Breeze. The Elven Cleric had spoken to used a speak to dead with one of the dead characters that he found in here, a dead NPC that was dead less than a month, and so he was able to speak and ask 3 particular questions, and slipping my mind exactly which questions he asked, but we will, he got 3 questions that kind of set him on the motion to head on down to this area where they ended up in. During the combat, there was a critical hit on Kandris the Paladin, in which he lost his ear. It was ripped off during the attack, and he took 1 hit point of extra damage from that lost ear, but it was an 8 hit point hit. So overall, he took 9 hit points of damage, and it was a pretty good ouch to him. He's lost an eye. Now he's lost an ear. I believe he's lost teeth in combat, or maybe that was a Malric. The elf fighter had lost teeth before. So really, really brutal system, because I use the Castles and Crusades critical hit chart, which gives a lot more flavor to just, oh, you take double damage or this or that. So we've been doing this for over a year using that system, and it really works well. Then during the big fight in room 13, at one point the Sparrow, the druid, critically hit one of the bad guys. I forget which type it was, and she blinded him in both eyes. So it really dismantled his ability. Let's see if I can see the one with that, because I put a mask over his face. I don't see him outright which one that was, but it was certainly one of these guys. I might have cleaned one of these up. It might have been the big boss here, or one of the lieutenants, I should say. So anyway, fight continued going on, and when we got into room 13, Zane, the magic user, cast a lightning, which ended up killing 5 of those creatures. So I mean, he really came out and hit them with a solid hit, taking out 5 of the 6, I believe, creatures that they ended up having to fight. So it was a really effective spell for him. And then they continued on through the rest of the battle against the Scourge Masters. There were 3 Scourge Masters in there. So there were 3 12 hit die monsters that they ended up having to fight in that one room, and then 4 of the 4 of the lesser ones. So it was a real big drawn out fight, and although it's still I'm going to switch views here. It was a drawn out fight. However, it still fell within less than, for each of the different fights that they had along the way. It was a combined less than 2 hours of actual combat. And when you consider that it's a very large party, and they were facing large numbers of opponents, I should say, that the battle still can go fairly quickly, especially if they get some lucky rolls on damage die. And like I said, that lightning bolt took out 5 of those Sathar, and so it really shortened the distance, because we were pushing we were already past the 3-hour mark by that point, and we just decided let's just push it a little bit further. And so it ended up being closer to like a 3.5, maybe slightly long session. And then experience points were tallied up and recorded for the session. Every player character received 9,045 experience points, and the treasures gathered, they each gained about 1,250 gold pieces in value of gems and jewelry that they found along the way. They tend to leave behind coins unless they're platinum, so they're becoming much more exclusive of the kind of treasure that they're actually going to pick up now. So really good session. Looking forward to this Friday. This Friday, I'm not going to do any reveals or hints or anything like that, but it should be another really important session, not just for combat, but also for evolving the story of the adventure, and overall the campaign. They're going to move the campaign storyline forward. I keep on saying that I anticipate that this current campaign that they're in will probably run about 2 or 3 more sessions, and each time that we have a session, I still keep on saying 2 or 3 more sessions because the story is kind of evolving as it goes along, and making some adjustments and modifications to really cover that. So it's hard to let go of a particular campaign when everyone is having such a good time, and everyone really feels that their characters have developed over 2 years now, and none of us want the campaign like to completely end, like to stop the story of these characters moving forward. Initially, I was thinking of doing that, but no one wanted to really let it go, and so I'm just going to come up with the next campaign for them to continue their characters into a high level campaign. Once most of them are hitting levels 9 and 10, and perhaps 11. I think that the druid is actually ready for level 11, and then in Greyhawk she would be capped at a level 11 until she kills the regional druid, the 12 plus level regional druid in the area. That's how the succession goes. So that'll be an interesting thing to see how we go about, myself and Leah, the player of Sparrow, the half-elven druid, and see where she wants to take her character, and if she wants to continue pursuing that avenue of challenging the archdruid for that position. So that'll be an interesting, dilemma, I think, for us, and we're going to talk about that and hash that out. So that was my AD&D First Edition campaign, session 105 from not last night, but the previous Tuesday night, which would have been the 24th, I believe. My Friday night game is a Castles and Crusades game in which I play a human ranger. His name is Kale, and not like the vegetable, but a little different Kale, if you want to pronounce it that way. And he is level 2, and they are delving back into the like a temple of not demonic evil, like a deviltry, and so there's definitely a diabolical connection to this particular cult, and we left off in a major combat. It was taking a long time because we are not really high level. My character's only second, and then the rest are only level 4, and we were clashing with these very large zombies. I guess they're monster zombies, but they were wearing plate mail and shield and had weapons, and it was pushing their armor class to like an 18 or so, and without a lot of pluses to hit, it's kind of hard to hit an AC of 18. So my character in particular, he only gets a +2, so literally I have to roll I believe it's like a 17 if they have a shield. So it was like I had to roll a 17 just to hit, and after 20 rounds, I might have only hit twice, and so it was you know, it was a bit frustrating for me. Being the lowest level player character on the field, and sometimes it's hard to feel like I'm truly contributing as best I can, um, and it's just a difficult thing to try to come into a campaign starting out at first level when everyone else is third, um, and working my way up through that. So, but it's only been 5 sessions, so it's been, or possibly 6. So I guess he'll finally start to catch up a little bit and become much more productive than he was certainly when he was first level. I got a really lucky roll for hit points, and I ended up gaining 9 hit points, or 10 hit points. Actually, 10 hit points for my leveling up. So I was like, awesome. It's like at least now I feel somewhat safe that I could survive more than 2 hits, and then make a hasty retreat. That's it's been good. It's been again challenging. This is a very challenging adventure that we're in, and we're only 3 characters plus an NPC, so we're just 4 adventurers against some of these challenges. Has been a rough walk. A lot of times we have to bail, come back later, a couple days later, all fully healed up and ready to, give it another go. It's been a fun experience playing the game and seeing how the game mechanics works. That way, when I eventually start up my Castles and Crusades campaign, different game time than the others, I'll see where it's I'll have some experience from the player's perspective of how to utilize the system that I'm running, and make sure that there's still challenge, but there's a fine line between challenge and frustration, frustration inducing. And again, not the castle keeper's fault, and the module design is what it is, and it's just a matter of learning how to deal and operate within the constraints of the game system. In that, now that we know that when we come across creatures that are heavily armored, that we need to come up with more strategies on how to deal with that, because we don't have a lot of two-hit potential against that kind of a thing. So it just requires some more planning on our part, and and always have to be prepared to turn and run away, which we've done quite a lot during this adventure. So it's something that I think is important for players to learn, is that you have to learn when is the right time to stand and fight, and when is the right time to turn and run, and both are viable and reasonable choices based on if you've accurately assessed your situation. And that takes time to learn, and it is certainly an important thing to learn more quickly when you're playing in a system that you haven't played before. There was that. So another good, successful adventure session. And we won't be on until next Friday. So we'll be off this Friday. So next Friday, we'll be doing that. I'm hoping to do my makeup game in AD&D First Edition this Friday, and I will be back with a recap for this week, earlier on next week, provided I still have my computer, or I might live stream that recap. I'll see which I end up actually doing. So thanks for joining. I hope you like this. I hope you like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. and like the video, comment, put your comments in there. Let me know where your game is at as of last week, or maybe you've already started playing this week and such. I forget, it's already Wednesday. That's how far off I am from doing my video here. And yeah, just keep on playing. Keep on rolling those dice. And just keep on enjoying this hobby, and sharing your stories with other people that are also participating in this hobby, because it is a lot of fun to actually hear about other people's experience at their own table. So you all have a great afternoon. Take care.